She's so fine. Hell blows my mind. Hell lights my day.
What's good, guys? As you can see, I'm catching up on videos, and I am doing this video regarding the lawsuit that was brought by Ms. Tereasa Martin as special administrator to the Kenneka Jenkins estate, and they are suing in the lawsuit Capital Security Investigations, CPO Hospitality LLC, doing business as Crowne Plaza Chicago O'Hare, F&F Realty, and MBC Rosemont, doing business as Murray Brothers Caddyshack. Alright, this is in case number 2018 L013273. Now, the last update I did was in regards to this case continued for case management conference, and it was allowed by Judge O'Hara. It was filed by Ms. Tereasa Martin. Now, what I have understood now to be the case is that this case was continued for case management conference at a very far off date because of a couple of reasons. Number one, because of the pandemic and the effect that it had on the Cook County courts. And number two, because they expect this case to end well before that time. Now, I'm going to pick up from there, and I'm going to go on after that and show what's happened. So, on 8/25/2020, and I'll have to read this backwards because that's the way it's supposed to be read. Capital Security filed a motion with the Cook County courts regarding something. We don't know what that was about. But when you file a motion in the court, you also need to file a notice of filing of said motion, and also a certificate of mailing. In Kentucky, it's called a certificate of service. In Illinois, it's called a certificate of mailing. So Capital Security filed a motion. They filed a notice with the courts letting them know that they filed the motion. It's actually just a document that says Capital Security, represented by X person, is hereby putting the courts on notice of filing of X motion. And their certificate of mailing is just to tell you who they mailed the motion and notice of filing of motion to. Alright, we don't know what was in that. On 9/1, there was a protective order, which was allowed by Judge O'Hara, and it was filed by Ms. Tereasa Martin. Now, when you read the word protective order, it's not what you think that means. Common sense would tell you that it's to protect her from something. That's not what that is. Not in this type of lawsuit. That is to protect something on the record, but it's not a physical protection order of trying to protect her against someone. That's not what that is. Alright, on 9/2/2020, there was, we'll read it backwards. We'll start with the first. There was an executor perform was allowed by Judge O'Hara, and courtesy copies were required. And that was in regards to Capital Security. And Judge O'Hara allowed both of those. He also allowed an amendment or additional or amended pleadings, which was filed by Ms. Tereasa Martin, and it was filed on 9/2, same day. So the judge allowed three things on 9/2. Alright, then on 9/15, there was a response or a reply filed on behalf of Ms. Tereasa Martin. Again, we don't know what these are about. I'm just telling you what was done in the court. I don't know the specific response or reply or what they were replying to, but it was filed. Then, a couple of weeks ago, there was a request filed on behalf of Ms. Tereasa Martin. It was filed on November the 10th, 2020. We don't know, again, what that request was, but it was filed. My reason for bringing this is because I want people to understand that this is a real case. It is an ongoing case. Yes, it was impacted by the pandemic, as most cases in the Cook County courts were. You have to understand that Cook County courts have such a large flux of cases. If you're not from a big city, it would be hard to even imagine the cases. You're talking traffic tickets, child support orders, lawsuits, all garnishments, all kinds of things were impacted by this pandemic. And that certainly threw the court off. The courts are not set up in a manner to handle electronic anything, really. They are so behind times. You have to consider that's government funded stuff. And a lot of these courts, the family court, the child support court, chancery court, law, civil, they weren't set up to handle these Zoom meetings and YouTube court. People were not set up to handle that. So it took them a minute to kind of get adjusted. And even in that minute that it took to get them adjusted, that created a significant backlog of cases. So it seems like they're up and going as best they can be, all things considered. And yeah, so this case is still going. It is a real case. And as this case progresses on, I will continue to update it. And hopefully one of these days, when this case is over, I can get my hands on that actual court file. If I have to go there to get it, I will do so, because I want to see that file. That's, if that's possible. They may lock this file down, and honestly, that wouldn't surprise me either, because I believe that this case is going to be settled. That's my personal opinion. And they would not want that settlement amount into the public. They would not want that to float out into the public. So, that being said, I just wanted to update this case. And thank you for watching. I appreciate it.